Hello. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Pro Sports Talk podcast. Um, my favorite podcast. I may be biased, but whatever. Um, India. I'm excited. It's been quite the week. Uh, for sports. It's been good. It's been good. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about the most of the podcast is going to be spent talking about the return of the NBA, the regular season, the real restart, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, very exciting, just incredible that it's finally back. Um, it felt like so long, right? That we haven't had the NBA, and it has been quite a while, but it's back now. And I thought it was really interesting so far. We've had 4 games. No, we've had more, but I'm gonna talk about 4 games. Jazz Pelicans, which was the first game. Lakers Clippers. Bucks Celtics, and then Rockets Mavericks. Right. I guess those were the 4 big games. There was also the Spurs. They played. The Trailblazers and the Grizzlies played. The Magic, the Nets, the Suns and the Wizards. Those are all games that happened as well, but whatever. I'm not gonna spend. I'm not really gonna talk about those. The Trailblazers Grizzlies game was really good, so. But I didn't actually watch it. I couldn't watch it, so yeah. Now I do want to discuss first the what the NBA has done with like setting up the fans on the screens and stuff, the crowd noises, the arena noises, all of that stuff to make it feel like a real home game for the home team, the home team, you know. And I thought it was super interesting and made it enjoyable. Well, I mean, more enjoyable. I really liked it, basically. And you have to give the NBA credit for their ideas with stuff like this that can help it help the fans get more engaged with the game. So that was cool. But anyways, let's get right into it. Starting off, with the Jazz and the Pelicans, the first game of the restart. And it was a great game to start it off. They've all really been great games so far. It's just been interesting. And good. I like it. But the Jazz won. Obviously, they were down 16. They came back. They won. And now the main attraction for the game was Zion, right? But unfortunately, we didn't really get much of him. He only played 15 minutes. And honestly, they were probably the least important 15 minutes that he could have played. So I didn't like what the coaching staff did with Zion. I thought he could have been used much better than he was. He still scored 13 points in the 15 minutes, and he just provided an energy to the team that would have been helpful late in the fourth quarter. They didn't get that from him because he was sitting on the bench. So that's unfortunate for the Pelicans. They did get a huge performance out of Brandon Ingram, though, who's been playing really well since being traded to the Pelicans, showing that proving that he was worth the second pick, right? It's just that with the Lakers, he didn't really get a starting role, as opposed to here with the Pelicans, where he's more of a he gets more opportunities to shine and to show his skill set. So yeah, he almost made that last shot to win the game. I thought it was gonna go in, but it just, you know, spun out, which was unfortunate for the Pelicans, especially in the race to the playoffs, trying to get the 8th seed or the 9th seed um, to get to the play-in tournament. But yeah, they didn't win. The Jazz did win, and I think the Jazz are an interesting team. I don't think that they're a championship team, especially with Bojan Bogdanovic not playing in the bubble. He opted out, and or no, he was hurt. He had an injury, so he had to opt out. But yeah, and a lack of real like superstar power at the top that could compete with the Lakers and the Clippers and all that. Even though I do think Donovan Mitchell is really good, and obviously Rudy Gobert, but yeah, it's not superstar that could compete with LeBron and AD and Kawhi and Paul George and all that. So I don't think they're a championship team, but I think they could play spoiler to a few teams, which makes them super intriguing to watch, right? And they also deserve credit for winning the game against the Pelicans. Down 16, they fought back and they won. Gave us a good first game for the bubble. And so, yeah, that was very enjoyable. Moving on to the Lakers and Clippers, right? The game that everyone was waiting for, realistically. Because most think that the Western Conference champion is going to be one of these two teams, right? And it's probably will be. They're the two best teams. I personally think the Clippers are better. And yeah, this game didn't change my mind on that. The Lakers won on a LeBron game-winning putback off his own miss. But even though they won, I don't know. I don't know how good the Lakers can feel about facing the Clippers when they get Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell back. Obviously, the whole Lou Will situation. So he has to quarantine for the 10 days and all that. And Montrezl Harrell had the personal situation, so he had to leave and come back and all that. So he's also going to have to quarantine. And they're huge off the bench, especially Lou Will late in the fourth quarter. He's a closer. He's clutch. And he would have been big if even just he was playing Thursday night. I think they would have won just from his closing ability. But yeah, they're huge off the bench, those two guys. So, and they weren't even playing. Landry Shamet was terrible, all that, and still it was the Lakers only won by 2 on a game-winning shot. So that's not ideal for them, right? Now for the Lakers, Anthony Davis, he only scored 2 points in the fourth quarter, which has been a huge problem for him against the Clippers all year, right? He only has 10 total points in the fourth quarter in all 4 games against them, which is not good at all, and he's going to have to do a lot more. He's going to have to contribute a lot more in the fourth if the Lakers want to beat the Clippers 4 times out of 7 games without having to rely on LeBron saving them, basically. In a way, he's gonna have to step up. There's, especially if Lou Will and Montrezl come back. Yeah, AD's gonna have to play as well as he did in the first 3 quarters to win, really, in my opinion. For the Clippers, Kawhi and Paul George both played well. Paul George in particular impressed me. He scored 30 points, but I don't know. I thought he stepped up. I thought he was really good. If he plays like he did in this game throughout the playoffs, then I don't think they can be stopped, really. And especially with Lou Will helping to close in the fourth, I think the Clippers are going to be going to the finals, at the very least, if not winning it. But yeah, and then also LeBron, he didn't have a great game. He didn't have a good game, apart from the late in the fourth, but other than that, he was pretty average offensively. Um, so yeah, and that's that game. Great game though, great game. Moving on to the third game, Bucks Celtics. Um, this game was very good. Giannis is a beast, and he does deserve to win the MVP, and he's going to win it. Um, 36 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 16 fourth quarter points when it mattered most. And so he just continues to prove why he's so good, right? And that's huge. The Bucks also got big contributions from guys like Brook Lopez, who was blocking everything. It seemed Chris Middleton was playing the role of second fiddle very well. He made some nice shots. He scored 18 points. He played well, shot the ball well, and he's gonna have to if the Bucks want to win a championship. Chris Middleton is going to be one of the biggest players. He has a lot of pressure on him in the bubble, because if they lose, who knows? Does Giannis want to stay in Milwaukee? Does he sign an extension, or does he leave? If they win a championship, he's obviously going to stay, and so Chris Middleton's going to have to step up and help win a championship, right? Because he's number 2 on the team. The rest of the team contributed in their own ways as well. Wesley Matthews was making some nice threes, timely threes. Dante DiVincenzo making nice passes, all that playmaking, whatever, a bunch of guys. Robin Lopez was hitting threes. Everyone was doing something, and that's important for a team to win. And Giannis is gonna have to play like MVP Giannis for the Bucks to win a championship, and he's perfectly capable of doing that, I think. And so yeah, all the rest of the Bucks really have to do, apart from Chris Middleton, who's gonna have to step up, but the rest of them just have to not mess up, and that's it. And they seem capable of doing that. For the Celtics, there was good and bad. I'll start with the good. Marcus Smart played really well. He scored 23 points. He played great defense, as he does. He provided energy, and so he's going to be big for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown also played well. He's continued to show why he's improved, or how he's improved as a player this year. Scoring the ball more, doing everything more. So yeah, he played well. The bad, Jason Tatum, he couldn't shoot to save his life. He scored 5 points, which can't happen again if the Celtics wanna go anywhere in the playoffs. I mean, 5 points is terrible, especially for your star player, right? And especially when considering that Gordon Hayward is going to be leaving the bubble once his child is born, or for his child's birth, and it's gonna happen first round in the playoffs, second round. I don't really know, but he's going to before the bubble ends, for the time the bubble ends. So Jason Tatum can't perform that bad again, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for Bucks Celtics. Great game again. They all were, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, moving on to Rockets Mavericks. Now I didn't watch the second half because I went to sleep. I did get the first half though. Harden went off in the first quarter, right? 23 points, I think, couldn't be stopped. Ended up with 49 points. The Rockets won in overtime, 153 to 149. Westbrook was also really good. He scored 31, showed playmaking ability, and they're a dangerous duo. I think the Rockets are a dangerous team in the West, considering their small ball lineup. It's unusual, so it can give teams problems. And then you have Harden and Westbrook paired together. They're a great duo. Harden's scoring abilities, Westbrook's playmaking ability, his explosiveness, you can't count them out on any given night. They could beat anybody. And so yeah, I think they're a sleeper team. They're dangerous. and the Clippers and the Lakers are gonna have to watch out for them, right? Uh, for the Mavericks though, Kristaps Porzingis was incredible. He scored 39 points, 16 rebounds. Twitter was obviously going off on the Knicks for trading him away for nothing. For basically nothing. Dennis Smith Jr., who I thought would be better, but hasn't been. But yeah, that's what Twitter does. Makes fun of the Knicks. Luka was also playing really well, as he does. It's insane. He had another triple-double, 28, 10, 13. It seems to be normal for him at this point. It is, because he's a superstar, right? It should be normal. I'm a big Luka fan. I think he's going to go down as one of the all-time, greatest scorers, top 10 scorer, top 5 even maybe. And yeah, but what I'm interested in seeing is how he performs in the playoffs. That's what I want to see. Can he lift the Mavericks past the first round or even further? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm really interested to see how that goes. Trey Burke, big surprise. He scored 31 points. He's obviously not going to do this every game, but it's nice to see he has the ability to. He could do it potentially. Who knows? You have to account for that if you're facing the Mavericks, and that's good for them. Yeah. Moving on to that was all 4 games. Currently, the Heat and the Nuggets are playing. The first quarter just ended. 26-25. For the Heat. Heat are winning by a point. I'm a Heat fan, so excited about the Heat. Obviously, a bit biased, but whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, like the Heat, obviously. Also today we have a bunch of games today. Jazz Thunder, Pelicans Clippers, Sixers Pacers, and Lakers Raptors. So those are all good games. Pelicans Clippers is going to be interesting, and then Lakers Raptors. I think the Raptors are a sleeper team in the East, so there are a lot of sleeper teams, in my opinion at least, for me. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, moving on to the NFL, the Jamal Adams trade. Just gonna touch on it briefly. The Seattle gave up a 2021 first and third, a 2022 first, and Bradley McDougald safety for Jamal Adams. In terms of the trade itself, you could say the Jets won, right? Because they got a lot, and I do think they won. They got a lot, but I don't think the Seattle lost, right? But the Jets, they got a lot for a player that didn't even want to be there, which is what's important. They were able to get 2 firsts, a third, and a starting safety to replace a safety, right? Which isn't a super valuable position that you want to pay a lot of money for or give up that many draft picks for. And the Jets got that. Even if the firsts are going to be in the 20s, whatever. There's still first round picks. You never know who you could draft in the first round, right? But as I mentioned, I don't think Seattle lost because Jamal Adams is a great player who's going to help Seattle's defense tremendously. Whether it's playing coverage, blitzing, stopping the run, put him at linebacker, whatever. Everything he's shown he can do in New York, he's going to be able to do in Seattle now. He just has to buy into the culture. He has to become more of a team player as opposed to a me guy, which I think he is. But I think Seattle could change him. And I just think he's going to be a great contributor for them. And it could elevate the Seahawks to legitimate Super Bowl contenders next season. I already thought they were pretty solid contenders, but if Jamal Adams, if he proves to be the same player that he was in New York, in Seattle, which he should be, then they could really make some noise in the NFC. And at the end of the day, what's the point of draft picks? It's to get players that contribute to you winning a Super Bowl. And that's basically what the Seahawks did. They just gave up a few more draft picks to get Jamal Adams, who's one of the best players in the NFL, and is going to contribute to them winning a Super Bowl. So yeah, I thought the Seahawks did great, but still, the Jets also made up very well. So both teams won, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. So, moving on to the next topic, which is, or the next segment, opinions on opinions, right? Introduced this last episode, where I just go to like Bleacher Report or something and read articles or lists or whatever and tell you if I agree with them or not. So let's do this. Switch to screen. Excellent. So I'm on Bleacher Report. One bold prediction for every top 10 NBA free agent: Serge Ibaka, Raptor, joins Pelican. Okay, I guess these are predictions. I don't know. Oh, okay. These aren't like where they're just where they're gonna go and all that. So wait, what did it say? Joins Pelicans. That would be interesting, actually. Joe Harris, Brooklyn's third leading scorer. Ooh. KD, Kyrie, and then Joe Harris. Bogdan Bogdanovic, average 15 and 5. Okay, I could believe that. Let's see. I like this. Noah Gallinari helps guide the Heat to the 2021 Eastern Conference Finals. The finals. Yeah, we did try to trade for him before the trade deadline. We got to contract extension talks, so we had a deal in place, obviously, I think, and it just fell apart, which sucks because the Thunder suck. No, I'm kidding. I wish we could have got him, but he's a free agent, and we could probably make it work. We have the money, so let's see. I wouldn't. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Let's see. Full 5-year max for Brandon Ingram. Yeah. He deserves to be re-signed. He's gonna be re-signed. The Pelicans should re-sign him. AD returns to Lakers and becomes first MVP. I don't know if he's gonna win MVP. He's great though. Okay. I don't know if necessarily great. I mean, I don't know. Those aren't like hot takes or whatever. Oof. Jim was asked to change jersey. Okay. Jaylen Brown, whatever. Who cares? Don't need to pay attention to that stuff. Oops. My mouse sensitivity went up. That's why. Okay. NBA Bubble Player Rankings. Top 30 players. Yeah, let's see this. De'Aaron Fox at 30. 36 in the regular season, 100. Okay, CJ McCollum. Bam should be higher. Jaylen Brown. No, Bam should be higher. How is Bam lower than his NBA 100 rank? That doesn't make sense. Jaylen Brown. Ja. I'm disappointed about this Bam thing. 28? Are you kidding me? But Brandon, no. Bam. Drew Holiday. Rudy Gobert. No. Kyle Lowry. No. Pascal. I don't mind Pascal. Pascal's great. Russ. Ben Simmons. No. Defensively, he's a beast. But we all know his limits. Jason Tatum. He's a star. He just had a bad game, but yeah. Chris Middleton. He's gonna have to play that well, for the Bucks to advance. Him being ranked 10th though on the NBA 100 was ridiculous. CP3's been a beast. Jimmy. Yeah. Obviously. Damian Lillard, Paul George. Okay. Luka. Joel, I don't know. I think you have to put Luka above Joel because we don't know. I mean, Joel's just too injured all the time. Jokic, AD, Harden, Kawhi, Giannis, and LeBron. Okay, wait. So first, let me see. Okay, what is this based on? Um, um, the regular predictive. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I assumed that, but no, I think Bam has to be higher. Look at this. Only 6 other players have turned in seasons averaging at least 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Look at that. Look at that. This is a future superstar, MVP. Yeah. He doesn't have 3-point range yet. He's gonna get it. He's been working on his jump shot. Oh, I'm so excited for Bam. He's so good. He's so amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't trade him for anybody. I mean, he's gonna be a superstar. I do think Bam is gonna win MVP one day. So that's super exciting for me. But no, I mean, obviously, I disagree with Chris Middleton here. Although I guess if you're taking into account predictions, if you think the Bucks are gonna go to the finals and have maybe even win, then Chris Middleton should be high, because if it's predictive, that means he will have performed really well. Yeah, Jimmy. I don't know what happened to Jimmy's shooting this year, but no, he's been great everywhere else. So yeah, okay. I don't hate this. Considering it's predictive as well. That's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that list. Marquise Lee opting out. That's the 7th Pats player. The Patriots aren't gonna be good this year. They're gonna be pretty bad. Which I thought before even the opt-outs. So yeah, let's see. NFL players next in line for big extensions after Joey Bosa's mega deal. Ronnie Stanley. Yeah. He's a great tackle. He's one of the best tackles in the league. Jamal Adams, obviously. The Seahawks are gonna have to pay him. George Kittle as well. I agree with him being the best head in the game. It's him and Kelsey, but I don't know. I like Kittle for some reason. Yannick Ngakoue, he's not gonna get it from the Jaguars. Yeah, he's definitely not getting it from the Jaguars. Dak, obviously an interesting situation. Deshaun, yeah, he's gonna have to get paid. Yeah, he's going to have to. I think you can make a case for some other players. T.J. Watt, maybe over Yannick Ngakoue in that spot. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of players that are going to get paid. So, yeah. Oh, I saw this. Where was it? I think it was Matt Miller who said Caleb Farley is his number 1 corner for the 21 draft. I disagree. Patrick Surtain Jr. and Sean Wade, both are better. And there could be more guys, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, okay. The NFL 100 ranking. I do want to talk about that for a bit. So let me just hold on. Actually, let me not do that. What's it called? I forgot. Oh, right, the top 100. So obviously, I mean, it was voted on, I think, in November. So I see why Mahomes wasn't one and all that. I think Russell should have been over Lamar, but Mahomes not being one, I get, because in November, he missed 2 games and all that. He wasn't having the greatest regular season, It was good. It was really good, but it wasn't like great, right? Like Russ and Lamar, and so he just wasn't ranked number one, which makes sense to me. Carson Wentz not being top 100, I disagree with. He's definitely a top 100 player. He's better than Tannehill. He's better than Garoppolo. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks that were ranked higher. Kyler Murray at 90, a lot of people had a problem with that. I didn't. He could have even been higher. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I think he's going to be a star in the league, but that's just me. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. The top 100 just it's not that great. Devontae Parker should have been in it, 1,200 yards, and he wasn't. Whatever. You know, it's their opinion. It's the player's opinion. So who am I to argue? But yeah, that was a top 100. Don't really care for it. I used to a lot more when they would release one episode a week, maybe 10 players, each episode, and it'd actually be a long countdown. But it doesn't matter much now. They release it all in like 4 days. So yeah, let's see this. Burrow. Yeah, he signed his rookie contract. This is smart guy. More players should do this. Yeah, obviously I'm a huge Burrow fan. I think he's gonna be great. So yeah, good for him. Tua passes physical. That's another thing. I'm very excited about that. Tua's gonna be a superstar. I'm definitely biased, but whatever. Let's see what else is there. I don't know if there's much else. Many more opinions. One of the best. Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, he's an all-time great, but one of the best of all time is insinuating like top 10 or whatever. He's definitely not top 10. So yeah. Let's just see college football, see what's happening here. I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with college football. But anyways, let me head back to this. So that's enough of that. And yeah, let me head to my final segment. My Ghost of Tsushima review. If you watched, or if you listened or watched, whatever, however you're taking this podcast in, the last episode, my recommendation, my show/game recommendation was Ghost of Tsushima, which I didn't play, but I watched Chris Move walkthrough of it, and it was completed. I said when it would be completed, I'd give the review, and it was finished, and so yeah, I'm gonna give the review. Spoiler free, just a brief review. It's an awesome game. It looked amazing. The story was super interesting because it had multiple stories, right? It had both the main storyline, which was the whole freeing saving Tsushima from the Mongols and Koden Khan and all that, but then it also had the internal struggle for Jin Sakai with the samurai code and all that, and then he had to change his ways, and his uncle not understanding, which led to the ending, which was wild. It was a great ending, whichever ending you chose. It's a hint, I guess, but no, it was amazing. It was super immersive. It looked super immersive. Looked like so much you could do. The stealth was awesome. It was like an Assassin's Creed game, but samurai, like an actual Assassin's Creed game, not the Origins and Odyssey and all that, where it's not actually stealthy or assassins. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a super awesome game, and a great way for PS4 to finish off their exclusives before PS5. And yeah, so I recommend, if you haven't played or watched someone play it, you should, because just a great game. And so yeah, that's pretty much it, for this episode of the Pro Sports Talk podcast. So thanks for listening or watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, follow,